And here we go. It's time for another edition of the Coffee Break on WBBA. Our coffee breaks bring us up to date on people, organizations, things like that in the community. And we have the Changlings to talk about. In our interview, we're going to be talking with Mary Lang Fortnier. And we also have Martha Sue Smith. Of course, Martha Sue from our family here at WBBA is going to be here to talk with Mary a little bit about the new opportunity for live theater at the Apple Shed in Clarksville.
Well, nobody's more pleased than I about this, and Mary includes me in emails. I'm not going to be real active in the Changlings, by the way, is the name of her organization, but I want to read you, 'cause it's very impressive. She sent me this. I propose to form a theater arts group under the auspices of Raintree Arts Council. The group would be formed with myself, Mary, as director, and members forming an ongoing troupe of performers, technicians, writers, dancers, etc. The big etc. I just think it's thrilling that you're doing this.
Well, thank you. I couldn't help myself. I mean, the one piece of the puzzle when we moved from Dallas to Clarksville was theater, and I actually went to St. Louis and volunteered at some theaters there, but that's a long drive, and I know people here love theater and need entertainment. And then I found out about the theater at the Apple Shed, and I literally fell over, and I was so excited. And then when I found out nobody was doing anything, I was outraged. And it's like, okay, hide and watch. We're going to have theater, and we're going to get started, and I'm going to do it.
You used to have and had some wonderful performances at the Apple Shed, but it just sort of waned away. I don't know, is that a word?
It is now.
Yeah. we do have a phrase for those. We call them Martha Sueisms.
Oh, there you go. Well, write that one down.
Well, I just absolutely couldn't be more thrilled. And I don't mean to talk about me, but I spent 2 years in college in speech and drama, so it's always been a part of my life. And I just tickled. Tell us a little bit about your performance that's going to be in November.
Yeah, our very first performance, we're doing a show called The Last Romance. It's a show that I did at a professional theater in Dallas. I was in that performance, and it was just so beautiful. It's got love and heartbreak and comedy and a dog.
Tell me the part the dog plays.
The dog plays a dog. That's funny enough. Yeah, but the dog is the glue that gets the whole romance going.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I'll have to, if I Google Last Romance, will I get a synopsis maybe?
You certainly will. Yeah.
Well, I ought to try that. Google Last Romance and see what we come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you live now in Clarksville with your husband.
Yeah, we do. We purchased a renovated church, the Grace Memorial Church.
Is it made into rooms?
When you walk into what used to be the church proper, it's one big giant room, and we opted to leave it that way. But we have little areas like over here's the dining room area, and here's the breakfast nook, and there's my office.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It is interesting.
And aren't you finding Clarksville a warm and fuzzy place?
Oh my gosh, it's like living inside a sitcom. There are so many interesting characters at every turn.
You met Linda Blakey, I'm sure.
Oh, well, Linda was the one that told me I could run the theater if I wanted, and that's what started the whole ball rolling.
Well, I just went off Raintree board just a couple months ago, and I already miss it. So I was extremely tickled to hear about this.
Well, they miss you. I joined the Raintree board on Linda's suggestion. I went to one meeting, and then I went home and typed up that proposal that you read.
Well, it's very touching. I think it's a wonderful opening and introduction to what you hope to make the Changlings.
Well, thank you. And theater's very important to me. I mean, it's not just entertainment. Entertainment's important, but you get an opportunity to share stories,
The camaraderie.
to make camaraderie. You make your audience think. Boy, to make somebody think maybe in a different way, to me, that is pure success.
Well, yeah, I want to just inject here in the middle of the conversation you are having that for the audience, in addition to those that are in the troupe that are actually putting on the performance, the experience of live theater is just so awesome. There's the opportunity to go to the Fox Theater in St. Louis and see some of those professional traveling groups that come through, but to have it right in your neighborhood and the accessibility of that, that's priceless.
Well, when we first got here, we went to the encore performance at the Apple Shed, and I was amazed by
I
the...
did too.
Well, I may have seen you and not known it.
Yeah.
But I was amazed at how many people were there because I thought all I knew at that point was little bitty Clarksville. And I realized there are people that are hungry for theater and they don't have to drive to St. Louis. They don't have to drive more than 20, 30 minutes, if that, to come enjoy live theater.
Don't miss Cornet Chop Suey. You'll love them.
That's what everybody says. It's on my calendar.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, it's an exciting time. Can you give us a hint of some of the actors in Last Romance?
Yes. Well, my husband Ricky, kindly enough, has
Is he
agreed
an
to play.
actor too?
He is. That's how we met. Was at theater school. We went to college together. Both got degrees in acting, which means we both waited tables a lot. But he is going to be in the production. Judy Bruce, additionally.
Oh, you bet. I love
Laurel Norton, and we are still looking for a young man who can sing opera. So if there's anybody out there, please contact us.
Yeah.
And a rescue dog.
And this is basically just talking about the plans for your first performance. Actually adding people to your troupe is something you'll be wanting to do on an ongoing basis.
Oh, exactly. On the docket next year, we're pretty close to announcing our season, but I'm pretty sure we're going to do Little Shop of Horrors, which is a wonderful, fun musical, and it needs everybody from a 12-year-old to a 80-year-old.
White-haired?
Yes, ma'am. So,
And that is a very dark comedy. You're going to have a lot of fun with that.
yeah, it is, and it's musical, and there's a plant that a man-eating plant, so you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So if somebody out there is interested, maybe not this first performance, maybe the next one, or just become a permanent member of your organization, just being a backstage assistant, how do people get in touch with you?
I'm glad you mentioned backstage assistants because everyone is just as important. If there's not somebody taking tickets, the guy on stage doesn't get seen. Everybody's important. But thank you for asking. Have them contact me at marylangactor@yahoo.com, all lowercase.
All right, we'll mention that again at the very end so that, once again, if somebody didn't get that jotted down, they can do so. Maybe tap it into your phone right now and get ready to send that very first email to you to express interest in being a part of the Changelings. Martha Sue, have you got another question?
Well, one other, I just want to mention that because Mary has stressed this with me, some people, I'm too old to take a hammer and move furniture and do those, and she has continually said to me, we want anybody on any level, whatever level they can join us. And I think that's credible. I think it is very thoughtful, and it means a great deal to me personally.
Well, I want to thank you because you introduced me to David and the radio station, but everybody's got something to contribute. I am all about finding out what people would like to contribute, or maybe they'd like to learn a new skill. And I've taught a lot of children's theater, I've taught adults, I've directed, and so anybody who is interested in helping in whatever way is treasured.
And I would think that for someone that's out there that's 75, 78, and always wanted to, or maybe did it years and years ago, You'd much rather have a person that's in that character than have to do a bunch of makeup to make somebody look old.
Oh, exactly, because, well, this play in particular, we've got 3 characters over the age of 70. We kind of fudged a little on a couple of them, and I won't tell you who, because somebody might come after me. But exactly, to use the genuine article is always primo.
Mary, it's a delight having you here. I know we'll be visiting a lot more as the Changelings evolves and becomes a fixture in our community. Martha Sue, thank you for putting us all together and being a part of the interview. I appreciate it.
I love it, David. Thank you to WBBA for doing this.
Oh, absolutely. We'll look forward to our next interview. Again, if you would like to contact Mary, if you would like to explore getting involved, it's marylangactor@yahoo, correct?
That's us.
All right. That's going to do it for this edition of the Coffee Break.
Good. Now you got a couple that,
That was fun. Thank you, guys.